Isang masaganang bagong taon sa inyong lahat at welcome po sa isang special episode ng The Stock Market Today. Bago ang lahat, ako po si Benji Chodoro. I review the active stocks and your requested stocks in the Philippine stock market. If this is your first time in this channel, I invite you to subscribe and like. So today we will be discussing the top dividend-paying stocks in the Philippine Stock Exchange Index in 2021. Don't go away. Before anything else, the Philippine Stock Exchange or PSE Index is composed of 30 companies which pass the criteria of the PSE to be index stocks. They have to be sufficiently capitalized, pass the free float requirement, and is liquid. Ibig sabihin po ng liquidity, pwede pong mabenta yung stocks anytime. Yung 30 kumpanyang ito na nagko-comprise ng index ay mga stable companies at karamihan po dito ay mga blue chip companies. Pagka sinabi pong blue chip, yan po yung kumpanya na merong highest value. So finally, most of these companies give regular dividends, cash dividends. So if you are just new to the stock market and do not know which stock to buy, ang piliin po natin ay yung mga index stocks. If you wanted to know more about the PSE Index, please check out the link entitled What is the PSE Index in the description below. For this video, I have compiled the 10 stocks in the PSE which gave the highest dividend yields during 2021. Some definition of terms before we proceed. So ito po yung makikita po natin sa when I present the top 10 dividend stocks. Ang unang column po ay yung rank. Ito po yung rank ng stock based on the dividend yield net of tax. So yung rank will be shown as 1 to 10 or 10 to 1. The next column is the stock. Ito po yung stock symbol ng stock na mayroong high dividend yield. So for example, ang Metro Pacific ay MPI, ang PLDT ay TEL, ang Meralco is MER, and so on and so forth. Ang price per share ay yung presyo ng stock as of December 31, 2021. Ito po yung closing price ng stock as of that date. The next column is cash dividends per share. Ito po ang mga dividendong binigay ng kumpanya during 2021, which includes regular and special dividends. Ang dividend yield naman po, yung next column, ay makukuha po natin by simply dividing the cash dividends per share over the price per share, or cash dividends over the price. And this is expressed in percentage. So the higher the percentage, the higher the dividend yield. Yung dividend yield net of tax naman ay the dividend yield multiplied by 90%. We are removing the effect of the 10% tax on the dividend. Yung nasa ilalim naman po ay yung ating benchmark. Ang ginawa ko pong comparison ay yung 2021 average bond yields net of 20% tax. So we have the 2-year bond yield, 3-year and 5 years. Ito po yung mga percentages. Please note na yung bonds, ang tax po niyan ay mas malaki, 20%. Pero yung sa dividendo po, ang tinatax lang po dyan ay 10%. So paano ko po nakuha itong average bond yields? Kinuha ko po ito sa PDS website at sa Philippine Treasury website. So ito po yung mga Well, I just took the simple averages for the 2-year, 3-year, and 5 years. I also have the 4-year, but for simplicity, I only included the 2, 3, and 5 years. Ito po yung 20% net of tax. So for more details, please take a look at these sources, yung PDS website and the Philippine Treasury website. But before we go to the top 10 stocks, these are meron pong mga stocks which earned cash dividends but didn't make it to the top 10. Ito po yung mga honorable mentions. At number 12 is International Container Terminal, which had a price per share as of December 31 of 200, gave cash dividends of 5 pesos with a dividend yield net of tax of 2.25. So last year it was number 10, but it slipped 2 notches to be number 12. So the 2.25% is comparable to the 2-year average bond yield net of tax of 2.26. At number 11, we also have FGen, which had a closing price of 27.85 as of December 31. Dividend yield net of tax is 2.26, which is comparable also to the 2-year average bond yield of 2.26%. So now we go to the top 10 dividend-paying stocks. At number 10, we have Security Bank, which had a closing price of 119, gave cash dividends of 150 during the year. Dividend yield net of tax is 2.27%. Again, this is comparable to the 2-year bond yield of 2.26%. At number 9, we have Robinson's Retail Holdings, which had a dividend yield net of tax of 2.52%, closing price of 65.40, cash dividends of 183. So last year, wala po siya, hindi po siya nakapasok sa top 10, but now it's now at number 9. So it is very near the 3-year average bond yield of 3.31%. At number 8, we have Metro Pacific, number 10 last year. Closing price is 390, gave cash dividends of 11.05 centavos with a dividend yield net of tax of 2.55%. So halos magkalapit lang sa number 9. And it's just above the 3-year average bond yield of 2.31%. At number 7, we have Aboitiz Power. Aboitiz Power was number 4 last year, but it slipped 3 notches to be at number 7. Closing price is 29.70, cash dividends of 85 centavos. Total dividend yield net of tax is 2.58. So yung 987 halos magkakalapit lang. So 2 or 3 basis points difference. So again, it's very near the 3-year 2.31% benchmark of the bond yield. Number 6, we have Globe Telecoms. The closing price is 33.22, gave cash dividends of 108. Dividend yield is very close to 3%, 2.93%, which is between the 3-year and 5-year benchmark. So yung 5 years po natin is 3.18% net of tax, 2.93 po si Globe. So last year it was number 3, so it slipped 3 points or 3 notches below. Now we go to the top 5. At number 5 we have Meralco. Meralco was number 6 last year. Now it's 1 notch higher, ending the year at 295.20, gave cash dividends of 12.881 pesos with a dividend yield net of tax of 3.93. So it now beats the 5-year benchmark of 3.18%. So utility company po ito under Metro Pacific. Number 4, we have another Metro Pacific company, PLDT. It was number 2 last year, ended the year at 1812, gave cash dividends during the year of 82 pesos. Dividend yield of 4.53, net of tax it's 4.07%, almost 1% higher than the 5-year average bond yield benchmark. And now we go to the top 3. Number 3 is a surprise. It's no other than Metrobunk. Metrobunk was nowhere in the top 10 last year. Now it's number 3, ending the year at 55.70, gave cash dividends of 4 pesos with a dividend yield gross of 7.18, but the dividend yield net of tax is 6.46%. Yan po, no? Almost more than double the 5-year average bond yield. Okay, then number 2, that's LTG, the Lushutan Group. So it was number 5 last year. It's now number 2. Cash dividends of 84 centavos per share. The closing price as of December 31 is 9 pesos 90 centavos for a dividend yield net of tax of 7.64%. And the number 1 dividend paying stock, cash dividend paying stock in the index during 2021 is, last year number 1 din po siya, walang iba kundi si DMC or DMCI. Number 1 last year gave cash dividends of 96 centavos. Price per share is 7.71. The dividend yield is a whopping 12.45%. Net of tax, it's 11.21%, more than 3 times the 5-year average bond yield. So that is our number 1 stock, which gave the highest dividend yield for 2021. So to summarize, these are the top 10 dividend paying stock in the index. At number 10 we have SecB, a Security Bank at 2.27%, Robinson's Retail Holdings at 2.52%, MPI is 2.55%, AP is 2.58%. So yung RRHI, MPI, and AP are just 3 basis points difference between the 3 of them. And then we have Globe Telecoms at number 6 at 2.93%. At number 5 we have Meralco at 3.93%. Now this entirely beats the 5-year average bond yield during 2021. TEL is number 4 at 4.07%. Metrobunk is at 6.46%. LTG at 7.64%. And DMC is the number 1 cash dividend or dividend paying stock in 2021, retained its number 1 place at 11.21% net of the 10% tax. So yan po ang 10 top dividend paying stocks in the index during 2021. Tandaan po ninyo, ang index stocks ang pinaka-stable at pinaka-reliable na stock sa PSE. Kung nais ninyo ng passive income o kaya kung bago lang po kayo sa stock market, you can never go wrong with these stocks. I hope that the information that I have shared with you will be useful as you continue your journey in the Philippine stock market. Ito po si Benji Chadoro, nagpapaalala, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Hanggang sa muli, maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay noong 2020 hanggang 2021. Mag-ingat sa COVID, mag-ingat sa scam, manigong bagong taon sa inyong lahat.